thank you for indulging us in this late hour. I do want to quickly review with you the administration's response to the SHAC report. As you know, it's an honor to facilitate that group alongside Dr. Presley. You each have 3 members that are appointed to that group, and I can assure you, even though they may not always agree on all the issues that come before, they're highly committed to the safety and well-being of our children, and it's an honor to work with that group as a whole. So a few months ago, we brought to you, or the SHAC members brought to you, their annual report, and so I wanted to go through each of those recommendations. The first one that I believe is on the first 4 pages or so of yours, recommendation number 1, is that the administration create an annual safety, health, and wellness report. And then it details all of the pieces that the SHAC committee would like to have contained in that report. You may recall that when the executive board reported to you, they said that there is a process at the beginning of each year when they form committees, and oftentimes they will change committees or they'll have new members on the SHAC. And so there's a period of some months of getting up to speed on what the district is doing in different areas, what the statistics are in each of these areas. And so this recommendation was born from that desire to have an annual report that is presented each fall just as they're starting to work on the status of the district. And so I did ask Kathy Malerba to look over the request for this report. I can tell you that some of the data is not data that we have, or some may be student protected data that cannot be shared, but every piece of data that can be shared we do intend to share with them. And in fact, Kathy had a couple of suggestions for the executive board of additional data that we could add to this. So this will definitely be something that we would recommend that this report be provided to the SHAC annually to help kickstart their work. And we will be doing that in all of the areas that we have available, plus a few that we think would be a good add. Continuing on to item 2. Let me slide down there. So item 2 is that the Round Rock ISD administration created a student safety, health, and wellness plan. And so this is born on the idea of having clear goals and measurable objectives, and that this be done specifically. There's a subcommittee on the SHAC that would be heavily involved in this one, and that it be completed, or the first one be completed by this May. So hand in hand with the first recommendation of where is the district, what is the status, would come this goal of setting goals and objectives that are then measured year to year. And so we do think that would be a great idea to complete the cycle, and so the district would work in conjunction with the SHAC to provide this report yearly. Item number 3, access to maturation and sexual health curriculum. This one is one that we're not able to do in its entirety. The recommendation was that the Round Rock ISD administration post the curriculum, which is owned by Scott and White. In correspondence with Scott and White, the requirement that they put upon us was that we could post their entire curriculum as long as no one could download it, take a screenshot of any kind, so that it could be replicated in written form. And in talking with our MIS department, as well as Sandra Carpenter, we don't feel comfortable that we have the capabilities to stop people from doing that. And we take copyright very seriously, of course, in teaching and learning and through the district. So what we are able to do, however, Scott and White publishes a link, which is a portion, gives a lot of samples of their curriculum, and we are able to post that on our hack. And so our intent is to post that on the hack. It's not the full amount of the entire curriculum, but it is what they already have available on their website. We'll make it easier for our parents to access that. And so that is our plan for that one. The next one is to recommend the administration create a process whereby, and you see it goes on to talk about notification, that the curriculum is opt-in only. The parents must sign the consent. 5 parent forums were also requested. And then it goes on to talk about promoting it broadly and providing a plan and timeline to the SHAC committee. On this one, our policy, EHAA, does say that the curriculum is an opt-out curriculum, and that goes to Education Code 28004. Again, Sandra and I took a close look at this because this is an ask of the SHAC that we make it an opt-in rather than an opt-out. But because Education Code provides that if a district provides sexual health and maturation instruction, that it is an opt-out, we're going to have to stay with that opt-out provision. We will, however, hold the 5 meetings across the district, and we intend to hold 1 in each learning community. Those are publicized and promoted. We'll continue to do that, and we also have no problem with providing the SHAC, of course, with a plan for that promotion of those meetings and the dates and so forth. And the last recommendation is that it be the responsibility of the staff facilitators to follow up on implementation of the recommendation, and we definitely intend to do that, and we'll continue to do so. And I'll entertain any questions.
Mr. Chadwell.
All right. So again, the question I have is back to the, I guess, number 3, the Scott and White curriculum. You say that parents can come in and look at it. Is that the option? Or they can
that is correct.
Can't we eventually get away from Scott and White so we're restricted by this copyright? I mean, there's got to be 100 different curriculum out there that are either open source or non-copyrighted and I just can't. Why are we using Scott and White?
It's a board-approved curriculum, and so back some years ago, that would have been the curriculum that was brought by the SHAC, recommended by the SHAC, and then approved by the board. And it's a fairly standard curriculum that quite a number of districts in our area do use. In fact, when I spoke with the Scott and White representative about do any other districts allow full access to get around this somehow with the electronic access, the response was no, that other districts did just as we do and allow parents to come up and view it.
Has that been much of a problem? That people want to see, what are they opting in, what they're opting out of, and just like I said, it seems like it's something. Of course, I remember I was kind of in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. I guess it was 5 years ago, whatever it was. The whole concept, and it was just like, I remember one of the other trustees at the time said, why do we go outside? Why are we using an outside curriculum when this is something? Eventually, I'd like the SHAC to consider either we buy it or develop it ourselves or something like that. I mean, I think worldwide it's probably pretty standard. So, it'd be one of these things that we'd all use. So.
I can tell you that Susan Nix hosts the parent forums each year. Despite our best efforts, and we can always do better with publication, they are typically only attended by a small handful of people. So we'll continue to get the word out and continue to provide that opportunity.
It's not been a problem, though. I mean, people aren't really complaining about the curriculum, and not been a big issue.
I've not had any complaints come to me.
I haven't heard any. Haven't seen any emails or people calling and saying they don't like it. So anyway, eventually, I would like for us to try a different option. So, but we'll leave it as it is for now. If that's a SHAC recommendation. I just do remember it, Scott and White, but I thought, wow, that's a long time ago. So, thanks.
Okay, I do not see any other questions. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you.